In this section of Algebra 1, we are going to pace back a little bit to a little bit of pre-algebra. What we're going to do is solve for percentages using the algebra that we learned in this chapter. So going first to number 1, you've probably seen this problem before and you probably solved it a different way, but this time we'll take a different approach. I want to know what is 80% of 320. Now, if you read word for word back from chapter 1, you can come up with an equation, and that's what we're going to solve for. The word what is usually indicated with the variable x. The word is just an equal sign. 80%, we're going to go ahead and write that as either 0.8 or 80 out of 100. I like to use fractions because it's a little bit easier. The word of is usually denoted by multiplication. And then finally, 320, well, it's 320. So right there, if you go word for word, you can see what the equation is, and then hopefully solve for what x is equal to. I made sure that these problems come out nicely, so try not to use a calculator, and that's what we're going to do then. So here, if I'm trying to solve for x, well, it looks like x is already by itself. We're going to go ahead and cancel out some terms. So 80 and then 100, we're going to go ahead and cancel the zeros. The 320 divided by 10, so that's going to go away. So that comes out to be 8 multiplied by 32. So the answer is equal to 256, and that's going to be our number then. The next one, same idea, right? Let's go ahead and write it from left to right, and hopefully we can come up with it. 175 is just as it is. The word is just an equal sign. The number what is going to be referred to a percentage. And I'm just like before, I'm going to go ahead and write it as x over 100 to indicate the percent then. Of is multiplied once again, multiplied by 50. So 175 is equal to what percent of 50 then? And just like before, we're going to go and clean it up and then hopefully multiply it out. Now, on the left-hand side, we can go ahead and say that 50 goes into 100 2 times. So that means go ahead and cancel and cancel. This will be 2. And now we have 175 is equal to x over 2. And if we multiply 2 to both sides, we get our nice and clean answer, which is equal to 350. And since x is the percentage, then that means that this is going to be 350%. So be very careful. Make sure you understand what it is that you're solving for. Finally, for this last one over here, 195 is equal to 65% of what number? By the way, feel free, go ahead and try it on your own if you want to. If not, I'm going to go ahead and start then. So 195 is equal to 65%, so 65 over 100 of what number? So multiplied by x. So there it is. I want to go ahead and get x by itself. Now I'm going to go ahead and move everything over to the other side, and if you want to simplify first, that's go ahead and fine. Let's see. Let's go ahead and multiply to the other side and see what happens then. So 195 multiplied by 100 and then divided by 65 is equal to x. So note that I multiply the 100 to the other side and then divide the 65 onto the other side. And at this point, we're going to go ahead and clean up the math, and hopefully it'll just be something nice and clean. 65 and 195, they go into each other 3 times. So get rid of this, and it'll be 3. And so 3 multiplied by 100 is equal to x. So that means that x is equal to 300. Now, let's look at the word problem of all of this stuff right here. So in number 4, it says, after tipping and taxing, the total is going to be 20%. The total bill for the meal comes out to be $72. How much was the original meal? So what I would like to do is take all of these equations and convert it into something that looks like 1 through 3, and then that way we can come up with our equations then. Here's how I'm seeing this then. After the tipping and tax, the total comes out to be 120%. And that means that 120% is then equivalent to the $72 that is being said right here. What I want to do is I want to find out how much is the original amount. So to me, it's kind of like saying at 100%, what is that going to be equal to? So if you kind of like look at what I just wrote down after translating all of this, now we can go ahead and say the following then. 72 is equal to 120% of what number? Okay, basically taking those two and writing it into an equation that we can kind of go ahead and follow. So once again, 72 is equal to 120% of what number? So let's go ahead and write that out. 72 is equal to 120 divided by 100 times x. And just like before, we're going to go ahead and move everything to the other side and then get x by itself. First, I'll multiply by 100. So 72 multiplied by 100 is equal to 120x. And so divide both sides by 120. So x will then be equal to 720 multiplied by 100 and then divide by 120. We'll go ahead and clean up the math without having to use a calculator. So the zeros here cancel out. 72 and 12. 12 goes into 72 6 times. So that means you're going to get 6 times 100. So that means x is equal to 600 then. Which seems like a little big. So I think I might have done something wrong. But let's see here. Where did I do the math wrong in this case? 6. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, supposed to be 6. Huh. What happened here? What happened? 120, 120, 72. Oh, right here. That's the mistake. I apologize. There was an extra 0 right there. Hopefully I caught it. And so if I go back, let me go ahead and change it. Sorry. I think it just comes out to be 60 then. So good thing I caught it then. So x is equal to 72 times 100 divided by 120. Cancel these two and then cancel these two. Yep, it goes out to be 60 then. Whew. Good thing I caught it then. Meal was a little too expensive. All right, moving on. After a 12% discount, the jacket comes out to be $132. How much was the original price of the jacket? So let's cipher it the same way. After a 12% discount, the jacket is $132. If you think about percentage, you're losing 12%. So that means that price, $132, that is equivalent to 88% then, because 100% minus 12% is equal to 132. I want to find out, just like before, what is the original price of the jacket. So once again, at 100%, what is the value that is supposed to be there? So same as before, right? 132 is equal to 88% of what number? Take all of these problems and basically just rewrite it in a form that looks a little bit more familiar or sound a little bit more familiar. Repeat it one more time. 132 is 88% of what number? So we can go ahead and say 132 is equal to 88% of what number? So we're going to go ahead and move x to the right-hand side. Well, sorry, keep x on the right-hand side, but move all the numbers to the other side then. So 132 times 100 divided by 88 is equal to x. And for this one, we're going to go ahead and maybe divide through some of these numbers then. So 88 and 100, they're both divisible by 4. So this one, divide by 4, we get 25. Divide this by 4, we're going to get 22. And if we keep going, it looks like 22 and 132, they go into each other. 22 goes into 132 6 times. So with what's left, it looks like x is equal to 25 multiplied by 6. So the answer is going to be equal to 150. Now, for some of you guys that learned about proportionality, I guess technically you can do it this way too. I'm just giving you more options. 88% over 132 is equal to 100% over x. If that's a little bit easier for you to digest, by all means, you can do it this way. That's the lovely thing about math. There's a little bit of flexibility. Okay, now let's look at that last problem then. How much discount in dollars do you get if a horse you buy is originally $500 and a discounted by 25%? So this time around, I am told what 100% is. 100% is equivalent to $500. What I want to know is what is the amount that you're supposed to have off if the percentage is 25%. So be very careful out right here. I don't want to know what is the percent that you're supposed to pay, which is 75%. I want to know if you get 25% off, right? What is the amount that corresponds to that? So that means I'm solving for whatever the 25% of 500 is going to be. So put it in together, right? What number is equal to 25% of 500? So what number is equal to 25% of 500? So what number, being x, is equal to 25% of 500 then? And when you write it this way, I think we should be able to solve for it fairly quickly. The 100 and 500, they go into each other 5 times. So 25 times 5, so that means it's going to be equal to 125. Now, if you go about it the other way with the proportionality, same thing. 100% over 500, because those are the ones that are equivalent to each other, is equal to 25% over the number x. And if you multiply to the other side and divide through, get x all by itself, you should be able to see that, yeah, this actually comes out to be exactly the same thing. So there we go. So gone, gone, and then 4. So that's going to be 125. All right, so hopefully this is okay with you. I will see you next time. Take care.